This Thursday morning, many Tamilians are skipping their offices. Schools and colleges are shut down as it's 48 hours and counting at Marina Beach, which has become the hotspot for the Jallikattu fight. It started with the social media message that turned viral, attracting more than 1,000 people, youth, women, children, all of them camping at Marina Beach for the past 48 hours and more. And they've been camping overnight. Cops very handful in number. As the peaceful protest continues in Marina Beach, Madurai as well, there is a human chain being formed this morning from the Association of Bankers and other traders. Tamil Nadu in one voice calling for Jallikattu, defying the state apex order completely, as the state government is in a desperate situation. Damned if they do, damned if they don't, because it's an apex court order banning Jallikattu. Pongal window has passed away. They need to take action to ensure law and order is upheld. At the same time, O Paneerselvam in the capital appealing for a face saver of sorts from the centre over an ordinance to legalize Jallikattu. But did the state government fail to read the popular public perception? Did it give an ammo to the opposition to ensure that Jallikattu is held in the state of Tamil Nadu? Joining us this morning, Akshita and Padmaja from Chennai, Revati from Madurai, and also senior journalist N. Ram continues to be with us. Let me first go across to Akshita. Akshita, you've been following the mass movement being witnessed in Tamil Nadu, the chorus only growing stronger. Take us through how these people who have camped through the night refuse to let go of the steam this morning as well. What are their demands and for how long are they prepared to hold the fort?
Well, for starters, Devina, you've been saying that they've been here all night, but that doesn't matter because their energy hasn't been deterred whatsoever. Look at this crowd that's gathered at 9 a.m. in the morning. So many of them seated together in solidarity. There's only one word that's echoing across Chennai, and that is remove the banner on Jallikattu. You can see, of course, some massive sloganeering also taking place. But what's really nice to see is that this is a completely peaceful protest, Devina. Everyone seated together to show their solidarity. Everyone was brought about posters to express that they want the government to act ASAP as far as Jallikattu is concerned. Akshay is also with us. She's been tracking all the updates. My apologies if it's a little noisy here and you're not able to follow us. We're trying our hardest to get our coverage from here, but there is a lot of action. Akshay, today that crucial meeting between the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister. What do you think will be expected of this meet and where will the people stop their protest? What is the expectation?
Well, Akshita, the meeting between the CM and Prime Minister is something that is viewed with a lot of expectation, at least among these people who are protesting here, because the one agenda that they've been asking about is will there be a ban on PETA in the state of Tamil Nadu, and they also want the lift of the ban on Jallikattu, which is also in place. So until and unless these two agendas are actually taken into consideration, these people are not going to disperse from this place. And Chief Minister O. Paneerselvam, this is one of the biggest tasks his government has faced right now, and until and unless this is solved, it will be a huge black mark, a huge setback for the state government, and this will be viewed with a lot of interestingly, you can see that the people who have gathered here have all gathered just because of a social media input that they've got, and it's completely apolitical is what the crowd here is telling us. So it is a huge task on the state government to get back into a position where they can say we are for the people, because the trust factor here has completely gone.
Absolutely, and as Akshay pointed out, this is completely apolitical, Devina, and we've never witnessed anything like it. The last time we saw this kind of a mass movement where social media made all the difference was during the Chennai flood. This city seems to be able to be mobilizing forces like no other on social media. I mean, look at the crowd that's turned up. With every passing day, you'd think that the protests would die down. But what you see is more and more people coming together. The slogans here being raised are against PETA, are against the state government, against particularly Chief Minister O. Paneerselvam, and also against BJP MP Subramanian Swamy, who also lashed out Tamilians hitting the streets. There's a lot of anger against him as well. So these agitations are only going to escalate. All eyes will be on that crucial meet as well.
Absolutely, and we'll go to Padmaja for that as well. But Akshita, first take us through how many people are right now on the ground. There were estimates of 3,000 people being there. Vis-a-vis the presence of cops, Because till now it's been a peaceful protest, but what's the security cordon around this area? Even Madras High Court observed that Marina Beach is not a place for such protests. Akshita, if you can hear me at the moment, can you tell us what's the situation for the security cordon around that place?
Alright, my apologies, Devina. There's a lot of noise here, so I'm struggling to hear you. But I think you asked about the security, and I want to mention that the Chennai police have also done a commendable job in controlling this crowd. You know, last night there were a few unruly scenes because the crowd was swelling up and they were spilling on to the roads. Further down Marina Beach, there is this college called the Presidency College. The crowd's there swollen up to a large extent, so there was a bit of a larger charge there. But besides that, it's been a peaceful protest. So the police too hasn't taken any action. They've largely managed to control this area and ensure that the traffic, that normal life outside the Marina Beach is not really hit. So hats off to them as well.
Okay, Akshita, be with us. I want to take our viewers through what O. Paneerselvam has told the media. He is in the capital. He is trying for a desperate face saver. Sasikala and her party in a need of a face saver from the centre, an intervention in form of an ordinance to ensure that bull taming sport is legalized in Tamil Nadu. The public, which is sentiments high, is the nerves are soothed as well this morning. Let's take a listen into what OPS said before leaving for the capital.
எந்த ஒரு பிரச்சனையாக இருந்தாலும் முழு நம்பிக்கையோடு தான் இறங்க வேண்டும், முழு முயற்சி எடுக்க வேண்டும் என்ற நம்பிக்கை இருக்கிறது. உரிய நிவாரணம் தரும் மத்திய அரசு தரும் என்ற நம்பிக்கை இருக்கிறது.
O. Paneerselvam saying he's optimistic. Let me go across to my colleague Padmaja, who's standing at Tamil Nadu Bhavan and following all the developments very closely. So Padmaja, does the AIADMK have a reason to be optimistic? Because they've already delayed the representation to the Prime Minister. The Pongal festivities have passed. So that crucial window where they could have utilized it to establish their credibility as a new leadership has passed away. It is more incumbent on now the state government to press for a meeting with the Prime Minister. Does it seem realistic this morning?
Well, you know, why it's also critical for O. Paneerselvam and Shashikala, both, Devina, because you remember last time around when this crisis had blown up, Jayalalitha was the Chief Minister, and at that time she had written to the centre, and soon afterwards an ordinance had come in from the central government which had allowed for Jallicut to continue. It's another story altogether. The Supreme Court eventually struck down that ordinance as well. But there will be several voices across Tamil Nadu now who will be wistfully wondering what if Amma had been around. So for O. Paneerselvam and Shashikala, it is very important to have handled this crisis well. Otherwise, they would have failed their first real political test. Of course, the first one was Varda, where they dealt with that natural crisis. And now you have this first real political crisis hitting the Tamil Nadu leadership. We also know that the centre at this point has hedged its bets. We had heard the former Environment Minister, Prakash Javadekar, who had earlier promulgated that ordinance, saying that we had tried to let Jallicut continue. We had respected the sentiments of the Tamil people, but ultimately it was the Supreme Court that struck it down. So right now, at least for the time being, Paneerselvam will be meeting with the Prime Minister and asking for another ordinance to be brought in. How soon the centre actually does that, given the kind of reverses they faced from the Supreme Court last time around, they are going to be playing it very cautiously this time.
All right, Padma, thanks so much for joining us with that input. I know you have to go and chase the story. We'll let you go for the moment, but some more breaking news coming in. Now, we're also getting the story that Joshua Madan Company founder and CEO Convenant Consultants has declared a holiday for employees to join the Jallicut protest. So, Convenant Consultants have declared a holiday so that the staff can go and participate in the mass protest in the state. Let me go across to senior journalist N. Ram at this moment. Mr. Ram, this is unprecedented what we're seeing. We've been talking about how in 1960s there was an anti-Hindi protest in the state, but that point of time you did not have social media. So you said you were in college, but there was no social media for such a widespread message in a protest. Now you also have the Convenant employees being given a holiday to participate in the protest. It seems that it is just going to grow bigger and bigger. Do you believe that Sasikala regime is in danger this morning?
I think what it shows is there may be many causes behind it. I don't think it's just, now it's becoming quite clear that it's not just about Jallikattu, although that has come to the fore, that demand, that Tamilian pride and so on. But there are, I think what it really shows politically is that this, with the death of Jayalalitha, the game has changed completely in Tamil Nadu, and the government has been weakened. I don't think they responded to it properly. They did not see it coming. No, none of us could have seen it coming on this scale, but we don't know yet where it will go. But to play this game that we go and ask the centre and the centre trying to do something, I think speaks very poorly of the leaders at both the side, in the state and at the centre. The opposition, of course, is contributing to it. They're sitting back and watching the fun, blaming the government for not meeting the demand. So, it's a very different situation from what it was even when Jayalalitha was in hospital. She had authority, political authority. They do not. Jallikattu is just, a manifestation of a much deeper dissatisfaction in Tamil Nadu. That's becoming clear. We got to find out what really this is all about. Of course, there's a very severe drought. There have been farmer suicides in this state. Very unusual for a progressive state like Tamil Nadu, where responses have been quick in the past and preventive measures were taken. So I think it's a situation we have to worry about and watch, but the responses have been very, very poor.
And delayed as well, Mr. Ram, because it seems that they failed to read the public perception on the ground when there was time enough. Because as we've been talking about, the Pongal window has gone away. Pongal festivities have gone away. They could have intervened earlier, like Jayalalitha filed a review petition in the court. She urged the centre, not on one occasion, but multiple occasions, because she knew this will be boiling up the public tempers. And Sasikala and AIADMK were busy in coronation, were busy in MGR centenary, but they failed to read the public perception on the ground. Do you believe they've handed over an ammo to the opposition just on a platter with this Jallikattu fight?
Yes, the opposition has been enormously strengthened. Now, take this demand for ban on PETA. That's ridiculous. I mean, on what grounds can you ban an organization which tries to prevent or reduce cruelty to animals? And it's completely absurd. And I saw a statement come from the AIADMK General Secretary, Sasikala. It's an absurd demand to do it. It will be totally undemocratic. On what grounds you ban it? Is it a terrorist organization? Are they resorting to violence? It's just trying to appease a ridiculous demand that has come up totally undemocratic. It will be completely illegal to do it, ban it in the state and so on. I think this is just, their political weakness is being exposed and their lack of experience.
Lack of experience and a desperate face saver, I would call it, Mr. Ram, with Opanneerselvam in the capital, and Sasikala saying that they will move and adopt a resolution against Jallikattu in the assembly session for removal of ban against Jallikattu, and that will be adopted in the assembly session. Whether it will bear the fruit or not remains to be seen. Let me go across to my colleague Revati, who's been tracking the developments in Madurai. Now, Revati, unlike Chennai, in Madurai, the protests haven't been so peaceful. What's the situation as there are many bankers association, trader association today coming on the street, forming a human chain right outside the railway station of Madurai? How many cops are present at the spot?
Well, before I come to your question, Devina, let me also point out that not just cities like Madurai and Chennai, but even the most remote locations in Tamil Nadu have organized protests. Like we reported yesterday, 200 kilometers from Madurai, a village in Tiruvarur district also organized protests. It's the smallest way they can, in whatever way they can. The locals gathering and shouting slogans, whether there is a media presence, a police presence, or if there is any political party around, they did not look into that, but they have gathered in whatever way they can. And here, 200 kilometers away in Madurai city, people are gathering, forming a human chain here. Yes, the ratio compared to the police is much higher. The protesters are much higher compared to the policemen here. And if there is any sort of violence here, it could be difficult for the policemen to control. But the police presence here could be limited, but the police is spread across the city because the protests are not taking place, gathering at one place like it is in Chennai at Marina Beach. But here it is small different groups gathering in different places across the city, and the police deployment is accordingly. Here we see automobile associations, bankers associations, people who have come and gathered here. Let me get you some voices as well, sir. There are different associations who have come here as part of the protest.
Yeah, exactly.
And how did you plan this protest?
Actually, we do with social media like Twitter and WhatsApp and Facebook. We connected together.
Okay. Let me also ask you, have you been part of any other protest before?
No, I haven't been. This is the first time we are protesting for this Jallikattu.
Okay, not for Jallikattu, but have you been part of any other protest before?
Yeah, I have been for the Kaveri issues and other issues. We have been participated in the protest.
Okay, Navina, any issue that is concerning the Tamil people here, they have come out and protested this Jallikattu. They say it is their pride, it is part of their culture, and they want a revoke in the ban. They want the ban to be taken off and the Jallikattu be allowed in the state. So they do not want any political parties involving in the protest. It is just people who are discussing on WhatsApp, Facebook and Twitter and gathering here to protest against the ban on Jallikattu, saying that they support Jallikattu and that they want the ban to be revoked here. And Devina, remember, these locals in protesting in different parts of Madurai as well, some of the students were gathered in the city even through the night, shouting slogans, beating drums and saying that they support Jallikattu and asking for the government to
Revati, I just want to ask you to pan your camera once and show us the presence of cops on the ground, a handful of cops as protesters grow in number.
Well, the human chain is only lengthening. The number of people are only increasing, if you can see, till the end. But
Yes.
you can see on the other side, the number of policemen who are here, just about a handful of them who are standing here, who are not just ensuring that the protests go peaceful, but also managing the traffic, the vehicles coming this way, diverting them whenever necessary. So
Yes.
just a handful of policemen here compared to the number of hundreds of protesters who have lined up here forming a human chain. That is increasing every minute here.
All right, Revati, have to take a very short break. Be with us. Going across to Akshata as well in Chennai. But the situation just building up this morning. Each passing minute, you have more and more people coming in for Jallikattu festival. A convent CEO has also declared a public holiday so that people can grow in numbers to support Jallikattu, but it's in defiance with the apex court order. The state government in a sticky situation this morning. Details ahead.